Hi everyone, and welcome to Reading the Signs Tarot and Astrology. It's good to have you here in this Virgo Super New Moon. Now, the new moon falls on September 17th and is occurring in the meticulous and perfectionistic sign of Virgo. The moon in Virgo has often been called the witch's moon, and it is the best time for magic and manifestation of what you most desire. The new moon trines patient and disciplined Saturn in Capricorn, which bestows upon us those qualities to manifest our more lofty and long-term goals. It is a fantastic time to create and stick to new habits, especially if they regard our work, service to others, as well as our health and fitness. This new moon could well lead to some breakthroughs in areas and industries surrounding health and medical practice. The ruler of this new moon is Mercury, which is currently sitting in Libra. It is squaring Jupiter at this time, meaning voices can be quite loud. It's important not to make promises that you can't keep. And despite the magic of this new moon, it is good to have practical measures in place to meet your goals. Focus on what you want to achieve in a humble way and try to keep it somewhat private. Louder voices could diminish your dreams and disrupt your peace. And like the major arcana card, the Hermit, associated with Virgo, go inward for your wisdom and answers. If you'd like to know what this new moon means for your sign, stay tuned and find the timestamps listed below. Happy new moon in Virgo. Hi everybody, welcome to the new moon in Virgo horoscope for all the signs. The timestamps are listed below. Just to give you a little preview of this new moon, I know we talked about the astrology in the clip before, but this is one of the most beneficial, positive, magical new moons of the year so far. So really do take the time to set some time aside for yourself to really dream about what it is that you want and start making plans. These 2 weeks that follow the new moon are a wonderful time to go after what it is that you want, especially if it is something that falls in whatever house that this new moon is falling in for you. So for example, this is falling in my 7th house. So I will then look at the 7th house and think, right, well then what could I do within my interpersonal relationships that will make them flourish? It is a beautiful, beautiful time, and it really will bless whatever house it falls in for you. So do make sure that you know your birth chart. You can watch your sun and your rising. They will be most helpful, but the rising in particular will be most helpful for you. So I will start with Aries, and I'll see you soon. Okay, Aries. So this new moon is falling in your 6th house of work, routine, habits, health, and fitness. And it is trining Saturn and Pluto. Pluto not as much as Saturn, but in your 10th house of long-term goals and career success. So first off the bat, I know that with the sky being the way it is, the 10th house has not been easy for you because your ruler Mars in your sign has clashed with your long-term goals, and it has felt, and I can even see this in your cards, it has felt with the anxiety cards and the 7 of Wands that you haven't quite been standing out in a group. You haven't been coming across in competitions. You haven't felt like you're winning, and you felt very anxious about your long-term career prospects. For a lot of you, what you begin with your new career endeavors, because 6th house and the long-term goals, a lot of you will be starting something new this month. That could be to do with work or study or a habit, a new health habit, a new job that really will work out for you very well in the long term. So it will work with your long-term goals, because we also had the man holding a coin. So whatever new endeavor you're beginning in terms of work, whatever you're putting your energy towards, it will pay off financially for you. It will be fulfilling, because I think a lot of Aries are actually coming into their calling. You know, when you see the 6th house of day-to-day work, you know, the 6th house is your day job. The 10th house is your dream job, your dream career. And when you have these two aligning, so renewal and the man holding a coin, you're going to be coming into contact with your calling for a lot of you. And, you know, for some of you, it's your calling so far. We don't always have one life's path. So with the renewal card, you could actually hear about a new job. You could be headhunted. It could be a new course. It could be a new business relationship. I feel that there is some kind of offer, or there's some kind of financial investment that really will pay off for you. With the King of Cups, you could be dealing with Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. In particular, Scorpio with the renewal card, but that could also, because the renewal card is actually Pluto. So it could be regeneration of something that you thought you could never have, but you can have. Something that really will work out for you if you stay committed to the course. So for some of you, you could be dealing with a water sign, of course. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. A lot of you could be going into business with a water sign. But I think for a lot of you, the words trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured makes me think that in terms of your work, you're going into a period where your advice and your knowledge will be really well respected by those around you. And I think for a lot of you, you've been in a period lately where you don't feel respected, you don't feel like you stand out, and you don't feel like you're heard. Is how I see this. You know, you didn't beat the competition in some way in your career areas because of that Mars-Saturn aspect, which is still going on, but it's testing your mettle, okay? And this new moon is the time for you to reset that all and really invite in some beautiful renewal, especially in terms of your career and finances. I just see you in the next 6 months feeling very emotionally fulfilled with your career. This is your time. 2020 and even 2019 have really been a period for you of accumulating some kind of knowledge, some kind of lesson in terms of your long-term goals and how you're going to meet them. And I just think with this new moon, you're going to be unstoppable. I really do. Review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. You are moving in a new direction and things are really looking up for you, especially if you feel like you've had a lot of anxiety surrounding money and finance. This long-term goal for you, make sure that you do think about your finances, because the last full moon in Pisces, that it was your 12th house of secrets that was connecting with Uranus in your financial sector. You might have had some shocks regarding money. But this is a sign that things are really looking up for you, Aries. The rest of the month for you is going to be all about overcoming that anxiety, getting your fire back, getting your drive back, really feeling renewed, especially emotionally renewed. You're really going to feel like you have your stuff together. So that is all I have for you for the rest of the month, Aries. I hope you have a wonderful remainder of September and a happy Virgo new moon. See you later. Hi, Taurus. Sun and rising. So Taurus, this is a beautiful new moon for you in particular because the main aspect is between your sister signs Virgo and Capricorn. So this new moon is falling for you if you're Taurus rising in your 5th house. Okay, that's creativity, that is pleasure, that is romance, that is children, and that is all things fun and creative. So the cards I got for you pretty much hit the nail on the head with the astrology. So we have the goddess of the moon. I think this is a sign that a lot of you Taurus rising are a lot more sensitive to the moon and the moon cycles than you realize. And this is really telling me that you need to come into a moon ritual. You need to be setting your intentions every new moon and releasing the emotions that are holding you back on the full moon. A lot of you are real moon children here. So we also have the woman holding a heart. And we have the door to personal healing and happiness. Okay, so one thing that I want to make out here is that, of course, while this new moon is occurring, we do have Mars retrograde in your 12th house. So there is a lot of internal reflection. And the other card we got was the Hermit. So there is a lot of internal reflection. And you are learning a lot about yourself and what motivates you. What you put your energy into is very prominent at this time. Now, the new moon is opening some kind of door for you to happiness, especially if it is surrounding love, if it's surrounding creativity, children, and even travel. So the things that came up for you as your blessings, we have the Knight of Cups. So for a lot of you, especially if you're Taurus rising, you could be meeting somebody new. A lot of you could be getting engaged, falling in love. If you get an invitation to a social event in the next 2 weeks, go. Okay, just go. We also have the 6 of Pentacles, which is gifts of money, time, and effort. So I think for a lot of you, you could be meeting somebody, could be a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, could be a Virgo as well. You could be meeting somebody who invests in your relationship with time and effort, which is something that you really like. something that everybody likes, but it's something that's very essential to you. And it's somebody who is very self-aware, and they are coming in as a result of the lessons you've learned with Mars retrograde. Now, it could also be a Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising, bear in mind. I also think this is you finally forgiving somebody who really hurt you, and not forgiving them in terms of letting them into your life, but this is a reset on your love life, you know, your romantic life, your creative life. Forgiving people who maybe stole your ideas, stole your efforts, stole your heart, something like that. And you're more creative. You also have an opportunity coming up in the next 6 months generally, but maybe in the next 2 weeks, to travel if you can. You know, bear in mind everything that's going on at the minute. This is general. It could be short distance travel. It could also be to study philosophy, or to go to university, or to study something in depth because of Saturn being there. I feel that your movements that have been restricted in terms of your growth are starting to go quicker. They're starting to speed up with this Eight of Wands. Events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, many things happening at once. Okay, so I do think for you there really is a strong sense of a lot of blessings coming in, and it makes sense, especially if you're rising in Taurus or Taurus Sun at around 17, 18, 19 or 20 degrees. That could be really special for you. Okay, so really, really, really special. Or in the early 20 degrees. But I think for most of you in general, you know, if this is falling in your 5th house, it's so nice. It's just such a great place to have it. I think for a lot of you, you're really getting in touch with your compassionate nature. I think for many of you, you're doing charity work that you're finding is very fulfilling to your heart, especially if you're working with children with that 5th house energy, or you are deciding to start a family, or you're starting to invest more time with your children. All of these things are really going to pay off, because with the 6 of Earth, the 6 of Pentacles, for some of you it could be a loan or paying off debts, but everything that you are investing in, the main manifestation that you're investing in, Taurus, will be returned, and it will be equal, which is lovely for you, because I think for a lot of Taurians that I know, it's been quite off balance for you guys lately. So I think that's a really positive aspect, and I hope you have a wonderful remainder of September, Taurus, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Gemini. So the new moon in Virgo is, especially if you're Gemini rising, is falling in your 4th house of home and family. So some of you may be redecorating, some of you may be getting a new home, some of you could win a home. If that happens, do people win homes? You could be finding your dream home, and finding that you, with Saturn being in your financial sector, joint finances, you could have the backing to do so. 2 of the cards that came up for you, interestingly, were financial constraints and happy family. So I feel that this new moon for you in terms of blessings is going to ease you up from financial restraints in some way. I think for a lot of you, you could be getting some financial assistance to help you forward, especially in a long-term payment plan. And this is going to benefit your happy family life. Now, this can be any kind of family, whatever you associate with family, friendships, home life, roommates, that kind of thing. But with the number 4, I find it very intriguing. This came out for you considering the new moon is falling in your 4th house. So this is a really positive thing for you. And the financial constraints, 13, also reduces to a 4. So the number 4 is significant for you in terms of building more stable structures. And it may be a more slow-moving energy, of course, but that is not a bad thing. With your tarot, the 5 of air, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Because this came as a blessing, I feel that a lot of you have become very aware of other people's motives in your life, of how to go about things, how to resolve conflicts, especially because with the 10 of fire, which is the 10 of wands, you've had to do a lot of work, deal with a lot of stress and health related concerns, and life has really felt out of balance. So one of the things that's coming up for you with the 3 of wands is abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. So this is your 4th house trining your 8th house. Is something that is really getting you to look towards the future with a bit more optimism, a bit more excitement, especially if it's to do with starting a family, making a family. I think for a lot of you, it is indicative of coming out of a period where you feel like you've done so much work, where you've lost something you really wanted, something that you thought was going to work out, and now you are hitting a reset button and starting over in your family life, in your home life. And a lot of you are also restarting from the past and looking more towards the future, because the fourth house is very associated with our childhood. It's very associated with our parental relationships. And for you, that could have been quite heavy. There could have been some strains, health-related concerns for a personal family member. There could have been financial constraints in terms of the family. And this is a beautiful time to set the intention of what you really want for your family, what family means to you, how you want it to look, how your relationships should be, especially involving children and parents. So the happy family card, when I saw it for you, and the Three of Wands, I just see this very much as almost like that Christmas song, look to the future now, it's only just begun. Because this kind of gives me a Christmassy vibe, and it's also Three of Wands, and Christmas is 3 months away. So I feel between now and then you're kind of resetting your family life and really coming to terms with your past, releasing it, because don't forget the true node is in your sign. So you are plowing forward. You know, you are plowing forward in your new life, and this really is a beautiful new moon to reset anything financially or family and get a brand new attitude surrounding it, an attitude towards how you want your family relationships to look, and really healing from it, and keeping your eye on, you know, what you want to nurture, what you want to nourish in your family relationships. Especially if you're Gemini rising, you might find there's very good news surrounding your family relationships, particularly financially. So I hope you have a wonderful remainder of September, Gemini, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, Cancer. So this new moon in Virgo is falling in your third house of communications and negotiations. So your written word has a lot of power with this new moon. You, more than anybody else, especially Cancer rising, should be putting pen to paper on what it is that you want to manifest in your life. So be this through journaling, be this through noting things down, making lists, writing a diary entry, setting your intentions through paper, writing a list of the things you want to manifest. Anything really goes. I love how broad the third house is for manifestations, so bear that in mind. Your tarot cards were by far the most beautiful, so this is part of the broadness of it all, but especially in terms of abundance. So the 10 of Earth, and Venus is in Leo at this time, do bear that in mind. So finances are looking pretty good around this new moon as well. A very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life, and blossoming abundance. So for a lot of you, this is really coming up as being more present, being more in the moment, having a very grateful heart, articulating your gratefulness, and it really draws so much good energy and good intentions from other people and positive energy towards you by being grateful for them, particularly in terms of your family and your relationships, because this trine is to Pluto and Saturn in your 7th house of partnerships. So that will be affected too. So with the 10 of Cups here, this is having a beautiful effect on your romantic partnerships and your business partnerships. The 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles is just beautiful energy when you get the two cards together. The 10 of Cups says a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met, trustworthy relationships. So if you want to manifest someone into your life that can feel very secure but very emotionally understanding, this is a beautiful new moon to do that. It's also a beautiful new moon to reset how you communicate with people and where you've maybe been holding back a bit. So with the Rest and Rejuvenation card, I think for a lot of you, you've been really finding with Mars retrograde in your 10th house, you have felt tired. You have maybe felt more lethargic than usual. And this Rest and Rejuvenation card is telling you that you need to sleep more. You need to take more time for yourself in order for these relationships to flourish. And you need to communicate your needs. That is something that comes up very strongly here, Cancer. You need to communicate your needs, your desires, your wants, because what you ask for at this new moon is so much more likely to just land on your lap. It really is. And if it doesn't come from the source you immediately think it's meant to, it will come from something else. The universe will provide you with it. The heavens are it's such a cosmic gift, this new moon. I think you just need to be ready for it. And I also feel that it all manifests for you when you're in the receptive mode. Okay, so if you are a writer as well, if you're writing a book, if you're launching something to do with communications, if you're in journalism, if you're in media, if you're on YouTube, if you are on Instagram or something like that, I think that your voice really matters at this time. And you could manifest so much in terms of an online presence or an audience to listen to you, because your words, and I just saw 333 in the recording there, your words are coming from your mind, body, and soul at the moment. You know, you're 100% in on them. So I think with this new moon being in the third for you, you could have the gift of the gab and you could really persuade anybody to your way of thinking, which is just beautiful. I think that's absolutely stunning. Your cards are by far my favorite. The 10 of Cups and the 10 of Earth, 10 of Pentacles are just complete satisfaction. So a healthy new reset in terms of your family life and in terms of business, in terms of even a lot of Cancers I think have benefited from working from home. You could be starting your own business. You could be starting your own home business, working more hours at home or something like this, and it's going to lead you to abundance. So really the attitude of gratitude that you have around this time is very beneficial to you, and it will feel like so many things are blossoming, but it's also saying spend more time in nature. It will refresh you, it will rejuvenate you. So I hope you have a wonderful remainder of September, Cancer, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi Leo. So this new moon in Virgo is falling, especially for Leo rising, in your second house, and it is positively aspecting your sector of work, health, and habits. Now Saturn has been there for the last couple of months. It was in Aquarius for a bit, it's moved back. You've had that energy for the last couple of years, and now the new moon is blessing it somewhat. A long-term goal, especially financial, it is great to start at this time. It is great to put pen to paper and decide what it is that you want your finances to look like, be a bit more discerning, create a savings plan, invest in something, make some kind of plan in terms of how you want your money to accumulate, because the financial decisions you make around this time can really grow, they can really accumulate, and they can really help your day-to-day life in the long term. They can really give you a bit more of comfort, a bit more stability is what you really want to focus on manifesting at this time. Now, with the 9 of Air and the 4 of Air, I think a lot of you at the moment are quite anxious. With the skies being the way they have been, a lot of people have been having sleepless nights. A lot of people have been feeling quite lethargic, feeling quite exhausted, feeling quite pessimistic. And this new moon is going to give a beautiful energy towards the pessimistic planets. So Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, pretty dark. So it's going to be giving really beautiful energy to that. So it is going to alleviate your anxiety a little bit. But the way that you need to do that with the 4 of Air is to rest. And also for those of you that do not meditate, this is a beautiful time for you to start a meditation practice, because you will really be tuning into some lovely insights and some really interesting messages from your own internal being about what it is that you need to do, because I think a lot of you aren't seeing the opportunities and a lot of you are very much in your head. So the reason I say that is because of these two cards, adjacent opportunities, adjacent possibilities, and the thinking woman. A lot of you are very in your head. A lot of you are feeling very anxious and putting a lot of focus onto the future in a way that is fearful. So Mars is retrograde in Aries at the moment, which is making you a bit more pessimistic. And I think a lot of you are feeling kind of isolated and kind of left out in some way. It's kind of shut out almost. And your mentality at the moment, Leo, is blocking you from seeing things that are actually opening up for you. There's so many doors in this card. Doors are opening, and there is more than one opportunity or possibility in your midst, but you have to be open to seeing it. And at the moment, you're very much in your head. You're really overthinking what it is that you've done, what it is that you want to do, and what it is that you can do. So all your moves at the moment are coming from a place of overthinking, overstimulation. And really what your cards are saying, Leo, is that if you just silence the mind, if you just took moments to be present, you would see the possibilities open up. Do not waste this new moon worrying. Use this new moon to envision for yourself a financial future that would make you really happy. A bank balance that would make you happy, or a bank balance that would make you feel free. Possessions even that you want. If it's not bad. You're a heart chakra ruled sign. It's not bad to want nice things if they make you feel good. I'm not saying that you're being materialistic as such. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to want the things that you want, and nobody else can read your mind. So manifest what it is that you want, especially if it is considered luxury or garish or whatever. You have lots of possibilities coming up for you, Leo, so do think about it. Do take time to dream about the different types of things you'd like to do with your finances. Maybe you would like to be involved in the stock exchange. Maybe you would like to invest money in property. Maybe you would like to have more than one stream of income. Now is the time to think about it. Hope you have a wonderful remainder of the month, Leo, and I'll see you very soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, welcome to the new moon in your sign. So, especially Virgo rising, this is occurring in your first house. It is a beautiful new time for self-development, figuring out your identity, who you are, who you want to be, okay? So it's making a beautiful aspect to Saturn and Pluto, but it's mainly Saturn focused, and it's occurring in Capricorn, which is your 5th house. Ooh, very exciting. So very creative energy, very romantic energy, very playful. So first and foremost, as this is occurring in your first house, one of the things I want to say to you that came up in your cards and is in the astrology, of course, is that you need to make sure that you're staying very grounded. You need to make sure that you have faith in your own abilities, in your own skill set, in your own practical nature. We have the 4 of Pentacles and we have the root chakra. A lot of you don't feel grounded and a lot of you don't feel safe. And one of the things that you need to manifest for yourself, or at least I'm suggesting to you, is to manifest faith in your own self. Self-belief, faith in your own abilities, and faith in your own inspired action. Okay, so the 4 of Pentacles means you can feel quite closed off. And when there's a root chakra imbalance, you feel like you're all over the place. You feel like you don't have the passion, the drive. And of course, Mars is retrograde in your 8th house. We can forgive you that. But if you could set aside for a few days the self-doubt and the self-criticism, you could really manifest so much for yourself. So much for yourself. And a lot of this, Virgo, is coming from the ego. So we got the ego card, which is where you have a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So for a lot of you, you might be looking around you, you might look at your property, you might look at your car, you might be looking at the money in your bank, and you might be thinking, what have I done with my life? What have I done for myself? What have I achieved? What do I have here? I feel like I don't have anything to my name, or I don't feel like I have enough to my name. And these are all ego traps. And what you need to do for yourself at the moment, Virgo, is realize that with a new moon in your first house, your possibilities are infinite. So you want those things, you can manifest them. But the key to manifesting them is being self-assured. Knight of Wands. Passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. So a sudden event that needs immediate attention, time is of the essence. Think things through. So I feel that for a lot of you, something in the recent past, could have been with a water sign, could have been with a connection of some sorts, didn't work out the way that you wanted it to, or you just feel a general consensus that things haven't turned out the way that you wanted them to. So if you're having a quarter life crisis, a midlife crisis, a midweek crisis, whatever it is, this is your reset button to say, I have a blueprint of how I want to interact with the world, how I want to look, how I want to behave, how I want to be, and it's your time to manifest it. It's supported. You will have the goals to go after it. The key though, Virgo, is making sure that it aligns with yourself. It aligns with your moral value. It aligns with your self-belief and your trust. So really with this new moon, if you could manifest one thing, it is self-belief, because you can make so much happen especially over the next 6 months. The intentions that you set now, you will see manifestations in March of next year. You will see something that is significantly brilliant. So one of the things that also has come up for you, which is quite beautiful, is the Caring Connections card and the Queen of Cups. So for a lot of you, you could be deepening a relationship. That full moon in Pisces was in your relationship sector. Taking care of yourself and others, trusting your intuition. And for you, this is really about being in tune with yourself as well. And that in turn is deepening your connections with other people, because the first house is self, but it's opposite the 7th house, which is partnership. So for a lot of you, you could be manifesting a new relationship, a new love relationship. It is trining the 5th house. So you could be manifesting someone really quite special. Or deepening relationships that are already quite special with lovers, with children, or with those who are creative. So I hope you have a wonderful remainder of September, Virgo, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi Libra, Sun and Libra rising. So this new moon is falling in your 12th house of the unconscious mind, the subconscious, your dream state, your spiritual side, and hidden enemies. So I know that sounds kind of scary for a new moon being this positive to be there, but if you think about it, it's a wonderful house to have that kind of advantage in, especially if it's to do with hidden enemies. Now, one of the cards that we did get, and you know I'm not that type of channel, but it's the envy card. So one of the things that you have to be mindful in terms of your emotional well-being and mental well-being is not to associate yourself with frenemies or people that are always trying to bring you down. And find ways of protecting yourself against envious people. Now, if it is you that is envious of somebody else's success or somebody else's relationship or something like that, or you're finding yourself dealing with these, the new moon can really reset that. It can really reset your emotional well-being if you let it. Now, this is in positive aspect to Saturn, so your long-term goals in this area really are supported. And they're most likely be supported by your family, or by a move, by a change in location, by roommates, by your parents. And also, it's a really wonderful aspect to heal any childhood relationships that are fractured. So this is a reset for you in terms of your personal relationships that are affecting you deeply. For a lot of you, I think that you've maybe become quite defensive with people. We have the Queen of Air, which is objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in a situation. So with the 12th house, I really feel, Libra, that for you, this is about clearing away the emotional and psychological debris. For a lot of you, this is a beautiful time to start therapy, to start Reiki healing, any practice that involves healing your mental and emotional well-being, you know, doing things and committing to things that are really good for the soul. For a lot of you, it could feel like a couple of days of retreat, but you will actually have quite exciting news come up, especially if it's to do with a family member or a home. So we had the Page of Wands. Outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Ingenuity? You know what I mean. Page of Wands. You could be dealing with a fire sign. So for some of you, you could be dealing with a romantic situation with a fire sign, because I also have the Angel of Love. But I see this as being more of good news coming to you in some kind of capacity. And I think it's really out of the blue, because the 12th house is to do with secrets. But you know that quote that says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. For some of you, diving deep and resetting your 12th house really opens up a new way of life for you. It opens up new relationships. It opens up new opportunities. It opens up new excitement. So that is very positive. Now, Mercury is in your sign and it is clashing with Jupiter, which can mean with the Page of Wands that you may be trying to be boastful about something, or you may be talking too much or sharing too much information. Be careful of that. I'm not saying lock yourself up completely, but with the Queen of Air here, when you are your best, you're independent, you're realistic, and you're witty. So having a realistic approach to your healing practices, but changing the way that you view things. You know, the 12th house is so much our soul and our unconscious mind, which controls so much of our life choices. So if you could really hit a reset here and commit to healing, you could really bring in some beautiful things. I feel with the Page of Wands and the Angel of Love, a lot of it is to do with healing your inner child, forgiving yourself for not being perfect at things, and healing relationships with children in general. So for a lot of you, this is actually a very magical time. You know, the 12th house can be very misunderstood in astrology, but it is, you know, there is hidden enemies, there is secrecy, there are soulmates that are tricky connections, karmic connections, those type of things. And I feel like a lot of you have really gone through that, and you can really reset. If you've been attracting a lot more lessons than blessings, this is a beautiful time to really heal and shift your energy so that you attract more positive, happy things in the future. So I hope you have a wonderful remainder of September, Libra, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, Scorpio. So this new moon is occurring in your 11th house of wish fulfillment. What better place to have the luckiest new moon of the year so far, huh? So this new moon is glorious. Now, one of the things that I would like to get out of the way before we talk about it is it's in positive aspect to Saturn and your ruler Pluto, both of which are in your 3rd house domain of communication. Now, one of the things that came up in your cards is that there is somebody or someone who has been, and this is obvious to you, so if it doesn't resonate, it's not for you. It could still happen, obviously, but I think this is the hostilities card came up. Someone who's been very hostile, someone who's been very uncouth, who has aggravated you, who has possibly slandered you. This is giving you the heads up to say enough is enough. Say something. Stand your ground. I know that Saturn has been restricting your sector of speech for a while, and you have felt that you can't articulate your feelings, you can't articulate your needs and your wants, and it is a battle, and some people have taken advantage of your gracious silence. This card is saying no. If you have to stick up for yourself, stick up for yourself. You can do it. This new moon is positively aspecting both Saturn and Pluto in your 3rd house. If you need to stick up for yourself against someone who's being unnecessarily hostile, then do it. With that out of the way, also I think it doesn't have to be, it could be Sun, Moon or Rising, but an air sign, an Aquarius, a Libra or a Gemini. If it's not, this is someone who's intervening and helping out. Okay, so tricky stuff out of the way. One of the great things I want to see about your cards is the 6 of air. 6 of Swords. Things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. And interestingly, one of the other cards that came up was the Journey card. Ooh. So the way I see this, Scorpio, is that a lot of you are relocating in some form, and it could be small. It could be starting a new job. It could be moving somewhere new. It could be taking a trip, taking a vacation, something that really is exciting, new, and a new adventure in your life. So for me, this doesn't have to be a physical, literal movement journey. This is a new journey in your life. I just saw 222 on the clock, so it could be to do with partnerships, but whatever it is, Scorpio, this is a new journey that you are taking, and it's really going to be successful for you. Now, one of the things that's coming up is writing with strategy. So having a plan in place that's really going to help you manifest your desires. So for a lot of you, this is scripting, journaling, speaking things into existence using your witchy Scorpio magic is going to be really helpful for you at this time. So make sure that you're writing things down or putting things out into the internet that are positive, that you want to see, that you want to manifest, and that you want to achieve. Okay, so putting your goals on paper is the most powerful thing you can do, especially with that 11th house, third house harmony. Okay, ooh, strategy. Also, with these cards, your final card was the Sun. One of the most positive cards in the whole deck. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. So with the Sun, I feel especially with the sunflowers here and the butterflies, you've really gone through a transformation. This is very much saying, Scorpio, that you're coming out of your cocoon phase and you're speaking your mind more. You're speaking from the heart, and it is part of your regeneration process, whereby you have kept many things to yourself because of ego, because of fear of rejection or fear of being misunderstood or fear of being overlooked. And the Sun is saying that's not happening anymore. With this new moon, you can be sure that you can manifest what it is that you want to achieve in your life, and that you're heading into a much calmer period, but also a much more fruitful period, especially if you are looking to change your profession or work with different people. So speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. So brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. So this is very much saying that, Scorpio, in terms of your career, it is a good time to put out your CV, to ask for what you want, to journal on what you want, to manifest your intentions with clarity. You could, of course, be dealing with the air signs, as I said, but I also think that this is a sign that Libra season is really going to see something in your life flourish. Now, it could be to do with a change of residency, obviously, or traveling, or taking a trip. All of that is coming up here as being important, but you are going into a new journey where you can successfully articulate yourself, and I think that's very important. So I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye, Scorpio. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your new moon in Virgo segment. So the new moon in Virgo for you, especially if you're Sagittarius rising, is occurring in your sector of long-term goals, achievements, and success. Pretty nice. Now, this is in harmony as well with your second house, which is Saturn in Capricorn at the moment. So Saturn in Capricorn, Sagittarius, for you has been not good. It's really been very much restricting your finances, restricting your self-belief, your self-confidence, your self-worth. It's been asking you to, restrict how many things you can have, restrict how many things you value. And for you guys, that has felt very the opposite of your energy, especially with Jupiter being in your financial sector. You really wanted to expand more, and Jupiter is now direct. So before Saturn goes direct, do make the most of this Jupiter cycle. The remainder of the months really can emphasize your finances in a wonderful way, especially with this new moon. Now, the way that that's working is that this new moon is a beautiful new start. If you're starting a new job, a new career, taking a new path, a new course dedicated to your career, whatever positive changes you make, oh, they're so good. They're so good, especially for career. So Ace of Wands, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. So if you start something in the next couple of weeks, Sagittarius, in terms of your career, your long-term goals, something that you really have your eye on, it's going to be so good. But one of the things that came up with your cards is walking away. I feel like a lot of you have had to leave something behind. And despite being a mutable sign, you have found the change quite difficult. So every new beginning is some kind of culmination, some kind of closure. If it were so easy, we'd all be changing things every 5 minutes, really. So walking away, Ace of Wands, you're walking towards something that's really very positive, really very fulfilling, something that makes you feel excited, and something that also makes you feel powerful. Like your spark is going, you are a fire sign. Ace of Wands is your energy, but it's that beginning stage. Okay, so it could be a new beginning in a current career. It doesn't have to be a brand spanking new job, but it could be a new part of it. Okay, so this in the next 6 months, Sagittarius, is really going to transform your career life if you set those intentions, get so clear on what it is you want for yourself. And you also had the third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. So this is your personal power. This is your zest for life. You're really having to, if you have a blockage there where you feel lethargic, you don't feel full of energy, you don't feel full of self-confidence, you don't feel like you can express yourself the way that you want to, if you have a blockage there, do look up videos on YouTube about removing those blockages, eat yellow foods, walk in the sunshine. I think a lot of Sagittarians, God love you guys, because you love traveling. Maybe this year missed out on a holiday that you really, really wanted. That is what keeps you balanced. 8 of Air, an illusion of being trapped. Okay, so I think for a lot of you have lately felt very trapped. A lack of self-confidence and afraid to change direction. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. So I think for a lot of you have underestimated your ability to stand out in a crowd to win. But this is saying, Sagittarius, if anybody's going to win, it's you. This is the time to ask for the things that you need. Be bold, be brave, and go after those goals with full force, because you can do it. If you even just want an idea, if you just want to manifest an idea, if you say, universe, I want to know what my calling is, I want to know what I could do to be successful, I want to know my own definition of success. If that's all that you need, go for it, because it's going to slowly but steadily transform into something very, very important for you, especially if you're Sagittarius rising. A new moon like this, so well aspected in your 10th house, just makes me feel that you have lofty goals, lofty dreams, lofty ambitions that are meant to be yours. And if this year has been so bad for you in terms of career, in terms of work, this is it. You know, make the most of this energy, Sagittarius. You can do it. I know that you're thinking you're not good enough at the moment, or you can't surpass the competition, or there's some kind of restrictive thought, whatever it is. You can do it. And that's that. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Hi Capricorn, welcome to your segment on the Virgo new moon. So this applies to Capricorn's sun and rising, but in particular rising. So amazingly, Capricorn, this new moon is one of the most positive of the year. I'm shaking the camera. And it is connecting with Saturn and Pluto in your sign, your first house. Now, your first house has got a lot of aggravation lately with Mars, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. I understand that. I'm sorry. And it can really shake up your family dynamic. It can shake up tensions. It can shake up changes. But this new moon is incredibly positive, and it's occurring in a very expansive, very philosophical, very higher self kind of energy. Okay, so showing up as your higher self. Your cards were exactly that. Okay, so your 9th house is connecting to your first house, and this is your time to transform. I just lost my natural light, I'm sorry. But one of the first cards I got for you in tarot, and I only picked one because this is strong enough as it is the life experience card. Now, only life experience teaches us what we need to know. The new moon is occurring in your sector of university, of philosophy, of the things we learn to make the bigger picture more apparent. So this card, which is in the tarot, the Tower, and this isn't to unsettle you, it's not like that. You're having a revelation. And I don't say that lightly, that is, you know, very big to say, but things are really changing the way that you look at the world. And when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And this energy is transforming who you are and showing you where you've restricted yourself, especially if it is spiritually. So we also had the 7th chakra, which is your crown chakra, Archangel Uriel. A lot of you need to protect your energy more, but a lot of you need to engage in some kind of practice. And I think for many of you, it's prayer. I think for a lot of you, it is having a relationship with something bigger than you, that you can ask for help, that you can connect to, that you can believe in, that you can trust in, because the energies have been shaking your family dynamics, your home dynamics. And I think for many of you, this is having a higher self or a higher purpose you can call upon when you need it. Now, I'm not making that sound scary because this new moon is so positive for you. But it is a beautiful time to start a new course. It's also a beautiful time to start a new contract. So, signing on the dotted line, negotiating with people, starting a new course, starting a new school, starting a new endeavor to teaching your wisdom, imparting what you know to people. You know, I think of Capricorn, I think of Saturn, and Saturn is this really wise teacher. So teaching other people what it is that you know, especially if it's spiritual or if it's some kind of higher self knowledge that you've accumulated, particularly through your pain, your grief, your disasters in life, showing people how you overcame it. Things like that are highlighted with this new moon. And I know that I only have a couple of cards for you, but it is more to do with the fact that it's so powerful for you. You know, it's touching Saturn, your ruler, in your sign. And Jupiter is in your sign, and it's in tricky aspect to Mercury and Libra, I will say that. Which is your career as well. So there can be tricky goings on with people in your life. People can really be testing your patience. You might decide to change things altogether in terms of your direction, in terms of your purpose. For some of you, it's going back to school, back to university. And for some of you, it's travel. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to get into this is that I know it's not... The world we live in, travel is restricted. That's just the way it is. If you can take a trip or a virtual trip or plan a trip for next year or something, and you know, get travel plans underway, or if you're relocating and you're scared about it, just know it's positive, okay? Just know that it's not something to worry about. If you're changing your location, changing where you are, it's not something to worry about. It's actually very well aspected under this, you know, provided you take precautions and that you're safe, but it is very well aspected under this, and there's no shame in going back to school as their Capricorn, because you know there's always more to know. Okay, so I love you guys very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi Aquarius. So this new moon is occurring in your 8th house, and really what I see with this, particularly because it's connecting to the 12th Aquarius, is that it's time to think beyond your past and beyond your fear. Your reset button is in terms of your intimate life, your connection to deeper meanings, and your ability to go deeper in general. And to some Aquarians, that might fill you with fear, but it's not intended to. I think a lot of you are actually really going to embrace this energy too. So the connection between the 8th house and the 12th house, it's a lot to do with freeing yourself from feeling that intimacy and deeper connections and even financial commitments. Freeing yourself from the belief that they trap you in some way, that they trap your spirit, that they confine your soul, that they stop you from roaming freely in the world, that they stop you from interacting with different types of people, with different types of beliefs. It's breaking yourself free from this feeling that your deepest attachments keep you enslaved in some way. What we have here with your cards is a card that is called the Garden and the Gate, which always indicates that some kind of blessing financially is coming your way. Now, this new moon is occurring in the 8th house, which is financial. It rules other people's money. So you could be left some kind of gift. Somebody could want to go into business with you. All of this is well aspected. You could get married and marry into wealth, or marry someone who you're sharing finances with. Or decide to make a financial investment, or pool resources together, joint resources with a partner, for example. And this card is very much to do with the blessings being financial coming in, and also understanding that in terms of money, the universe is saying to you at the moment, and I know that you're humanitarian and that you understand that it makes no sense that the 1% have more money and there's people going hungry and things. This is very much for you being able to generate wealth for yourself in terms of having freedom to help. Okay, so the Garden and the Gate is all about financial resources coming towards you, being able to manifest greater money, but understanding that you can put spirit and love into money. Money is not an evil thing. You can put your heart and your soul into it in order to help to create better circumstances for other people. And once you understand that, you can really do great things in this world, Aquarius, or for yourself even. But I think for a lot of you, this is to do with other people. Okay, so King of Pentacles. You could be dealing with an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This could be a soulmate because of the other cards that have come up here. A successful time, confidently accept opportunities you're offered, and the Midas touch. So this new moon for me, Aquarius, is saying that you are attracting or able to manifest great sums of money. Okay, so or even abundance in your lifestyle, a new home, a new car, something like that is what you're able to manifest at this time. You're also able to manifest a soulmate. And this has come up in your cards so much lately. Yin and Yang, 6 of Cups. Manifesting a soulmate. So it could be someone who's very practical, someone who's very down to earth, someone who is even someone who's the opposite of you, someone who really balances you out, somebody who has Leo in their chart perhaps, or planets in your 7th house. This is somebody who is feeling like your other half, your counterpart, someone that just feels very much like home. Now, another thing that this can be saying for me, Aquarius, that I get is that perhaps some of you are hitting that reset on the past and your past beliefs and your past perspectives on the type of person you want to marry, or the type of person you want to be with, or even the type of person you want to be, or the type of job you want to do. And this is all saying that it's all very much coming into harmony with what is meant for you will not pass you. Okay, so something that is meant to be. You could be thinking a lot about the past with the 6 of Cups, and you could be romanticizing it a little bit even. And the Yin and the Yang card is saying that everything that has happened has shaped you to be the person that you are. But you still need something to balance that out. You still need the opposing energies, the contrast, in order to make everything make sense. You know, if you just had 24 hours of daylight, it wouldn't make any sense. It just wouldn't. It would make you feel very tired. It would make you feel like you weren't healing properly. Do you know what I mean? Those kind of energies. And I think for a lot of you, you have felt a little bit like you're on the outside looking in. And I think that there are very harmonious deepening of connections, meeting people that really make sense to you in your soul path. And I think it's going to be very beautiful and very beneficial for you, Aquarius. So have a wonderful remainder of September, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising. Anybody that has this new moon in the 7th house. Oh, what a beauty. This new moon in Virgo is touching and blessing your relationships, particularly your one-on-one romantic relationships and your business relationships. It's also aspecting Saturn in your sector of friendships and wishes. So this is such a beautiful new moon to have in the side of the sky for you, and your cards completely reflect that. So 2 of Cups and the Lovers. For a lot of you with the new moon in the 7th house, this is deepening of a connection. This is choosing to go to the next step, to fall in love, to get engaged, to get married. This is a beautiful time to deepen a relationship. It really is, because for a lot of you as well that haven't met your soulmate, this could be a time when you manifest that one person, especially if you want to get married. This is really to do with a deepening of a bond, a connection in your life that simply feels meant to be, okay? So the 2 of Cups, a relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. For some of you, this is that reset button on your relationships. If there has been trouble, if there has been tribulation, trial, it's a beautiful time to reset and really look to the future with positive belief and strength. We also had the Lovers, which is Archangel Raphael. Intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, and good health. Beautiful. So the Lovers and the 2 of Cups to me is always that beautiful soulmate energy. So it is to do with deepening your relationships, moving it up a notch, deeper connections, and really the sense of just feeling that heart opening energy, feeling like you're just open to love, open to connection. And that can be in friendship too. It can be in your relationships in general, business. Really, quality is the key here. It's a high quality relationship, a compatible relationship, something that makes you feel very understood, and something that makes you feel very loved and very needed. So relationships can really heal under this time too if they've been going through a period of tribulation, because we also have the Angel of Strength. So you could have been dealing with someone with Leo in their chart, someone who's quite stubborn or someone who's quite ego-centered at times. And this Angel of Strength, Pisces, is saying that you can stand your ground. You can say what it is that you feel in order to deepen those connections. Now, one thing that is coming up abundantly clear is the appreciation card. Whatever your relationship status at the moment, whatever you're going through in terms of your relationships, choose to be grateful. Choose to look at the positive, the things that are going well, and appreciate them. Do not get caught up on the other things that are going wrong. You know, I'm not saying stay in relationships that are unhealthy or abusive. That's not at all the case. I mean, in terms of relationships where you feel like, oh, maybe they could have, you know, more zest about life or whatever it is, you know, just where you feel like you could be, because it's Virgo season. It can be quite critical. But appreciating where you are, even if you're single, just appreciate being where you are and say, you know, I've had time and space to grow myself and more time for this or whatever, because you can really manifest something beautiful. The Door to Spirit card is also saying that you are in this space of manifestation where magic is happening, because you're more intuitive, you're more tapped in, your belief is stronger. Jupiter is now direct in your 11th house of wishes. Dream bigger for yourself. Think bigger than what you're doing. If you say, for example, I want to sell 10 copies of my book, say, no, I want to sell 100 copies of my book. If you say, I want to fall in love with someone who's nice, I just want someone nice, say, no, I want someone who's nice but makes me feel like I'm the only person in the world. You know what I mean? Just think bigger for yourself with this cycle. This new moon is so positive for you. And I just want you to think in terms of what you really deserve. You know, oversell what you want to manifest to yourself. And I know I said with this new moon as well, you know, have practical steps in place, of course. But there's always a little bit of magic involved with any endeavor. You know, everything around you has been created, but there was always something extra to it. As I say, you know, someone who invented something in their time, and they expected to sell a certain amount, but then it became a worldwide staple in a home. You know, that's magic. That is something else to it. And you're just being asked, Pisces, to trust the magic, especially as far as love goes and as far as relationships go. This is a beautiful time for you. So I hope you have a wonderful remainder of September, Pisces, and I will see you soon. Bye.